Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be doing my America's LCQ tier list. Now that what's it called? Tokyo is over, I'm going to be able to do this and my pick'ems for every region. I'm just going to go through like the power rankings in 3 videos, and then I'll do the pick'ems in 3 separate videos. Um, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Uh, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so we're gonna start with the lowest tier, which I don't think is actually gonna be D tier. I don't think there's any like really D tier team, even crew. I could see them fixing a lot of issues and surprising some people. Maybe not winning the event, but going deep. But they still are going to be my lowest rated team in C tier. Uh, I just they went 0-9. I mean, there's been a lot of memes on Twitter of them going 0-9 to champs, which would be kind of funny. But it's just not going to happen, especially with their bracket. But that's not really why I'm ranking them here. The bracket, that is, because they have to win 2 games before they get into the double elim part, which is just going to be really hard. And kind of similar deal with MIBR, except I have a little bit more hope for them. Obviously, they looked pretty decent towards the end of the season with Chosen coming in, who's their coach, and he actually looked pretty good in that game. But I don't really believe that they're going to play like they did against 100 Thieves. That felt kind of like a anomaly for this team. But the reason that they're in C tier and in the place above crew is because I believe that they could get there. It's possible, but I don't see it. All right. And then in the B tier, uh, I'm just gonna throw Sentinels in here at the bottom. I do kind of believe in this team. I think there's a good chance. Actually, no, they're not gonna outperform this because I don't think they're. I'll spoil the pick'ems a little bit. I don't think they're gonna win that first game against 100 Thieves, so I don't think they're gonna outperform this. I think they might look better than some of these other teams while doing that. Um, I mean, they could win that first game against 100 Thieves. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm not going to predict it. Uh, but I think they could still look very good while losing that game, or even win it. It's very possible. I think it's like probably like a 53-47, something like that, towards 100 Thieves in that game. But I think Sentinels can be good. I just don't think I'm not going to predict it because I don't believe in a team IGL'd by Marv in his or like I'm gonna like his third ever game IGLing in that first game, I think, if I remember correctly. So it's just kind of like hit or miss with that team. Very similar to our next team, who I'm actually gonna put at the top of B tier. I was gonna put them in the bottom of A, but I'm gonna put Furia in B tier. I don't know how to explain this because all signs towards the end of the season point to them at least being above Leviathan, because Leviathan sucked at the end of the season, to be frank. But I think I'm gonna just put them there for now. I'm gonna tell you they are gonna be an A tier. Uh, it's just Furia is very dependent on individual form. I think that was kind of shown in the playoffs a little bit. They do have good ideas and they play fundamentally well, but I think they're just worse loud. They have worse individuals across the board and significantly worse ideas. I think they're gonna come in and probably win their first game against either MIBR or Crew. Um, but I don't think they're going to win any other games after that, and I don't think it's going to be particularly clean in any of their games, to be frank. And Leviathan always come into tournaments looking very, very solid. Um, and I think that's why they're going to be ahead of Furia um, in A tier as well. I don't think they are going to win the event per se, but I think they could definitely get like to the finals and then like run out of new stuff and then get anti-strat and all that kind of stuff. And then next up, 100 Thieves. I'm actually gonna put below Leviathan. I just put Leviathan there to show that they were an A tier because I was just going to explain it anyway. And there's my dog. Sorry if you heard that. But 100 Thieves. I think this is gonna be a little high for some people. Uh, and I kind of agree. Actually, I definitely agree. They're in B tier. I don't think they're a whole tier ahead of Furia or Sentinels. I do favor them in that first game, and they've won LCQs before, looking significantly better than they've looked in the past. But that was also just after the roster was formed. Like they get their first major break between Stage 2 and LCQ. And that's kind of where they improved so much going into the LCQ, so I could see why people don't agree with this, and they won't. I just know they won't. And they looked like they were getting better towards the end of the season, like that Furia win. They looked a lot better. And then they just kind of had the pressure and shit the bed against MIBR, which in a more like bracket format, I don't think is going to be as bad of a thing for them as in terms of pressure. Like it's just going to be single a limb in the beginning of it, which kind of sucks. But I don't think like it historically that has not gotten to them outside of like maybe a couple lower bracket games. Like I guess the one at Champs against Fnatic definitely pops into my head. They definitely played worse in that game. The DRX one a little bit, but that was like their first time really playing on stage. And then like maybe phase in the lower bracket at stage two last year. But other than that, this team hasn't really had too many like pressure games outside of that MIBR game. So I think they should be able to win this one. I mean, I guess you could say lock in a little bit, but I just don't think they were as good as advertised at that tournament. But regardless, I do think 100 Thieves have a decent shot to make champs, as I do in every for every team, like maybe B and above. Uh, I mean, like Leviathan could win. Like King could become a good IGL in the month they've had off. I could see that. Uh, but I think all these teams have a really good shot, including C9, who I'm gonna put in A tier. I don't. There's any super clear favorite here. They looked really shaky in playoffs. They looked a little bit nervous, like the pressure got to them. Leaf played significantly worse than he did in the regular season, and if he doesn't get back to that form, I think this team might be a B tier team, like around Furia, which is very concerning. But I think if all their individuals are hitting and they're playing like they are, or like they were in the regular season, I think they should be able to win this tournament pretty easily. So I mean that's pretty much it. Obviously, I just used the America's tier list I used at the beginning of the season, just because it was easier, and I looked up LCQ tier list, and that just didn't work. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this list in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff, even if you don't agree. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.